Welcome back to Meet in the Lobby. This is the podcast where hospitality meets innovation.
I am Dorien Murphy.
And I am Melissa McCormack. Dorien, there's been a lot going on lately, hasn't there? I think we need a little wellness check.
Yeah,
How are things?
It's been busy. It's been busy. But I've been really prioritizing getting in the gym.
Ooh,
Like
all right.
every day or 4 to 5 days a week, as much as I can, even when I'm traveling. I'm just trying to get back to the guy I was maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. So
I like the guy you are now.
I'm a pretty cool guy now. Some would say, but physically, I think I could be a better guy.
Okay.
I think I could be a better guy. So I've been really just investing that time and not letting anything get in the way, whether it's travel or family or other commitments. And so that's what I've been doing. But how about you? Like, how are you doing?
Well, you're impressive. You're going to be ripped next time I see you, huh?
I hope so.
So on the flip side of that coin, I have been investing in my wine collection.
I love that.
Priorities. But in all seriousness, I really have been focusing a bit more on mindfulness, and not just mindfulness, but meditation. I downloaded this app, and there is this person with a beautiful Australian accent that lulls me to sleep. I do the meditation with them, and my heart rate literally drops 10 points per minute. Yep, 10 points.
You have to send me the name of that app, because I think my heart rate is constantly up because there's so much happening. So
there really is. There really is. Now, we have another special episode where we're taking questions from our listeners. We're going to be kicking it off with a question about managing tight margins, right? This is something that's on everyone's minds. And so I will read the first question here, and I'm curious about your answer, Dorien. So,
okay.
Hotel companies, we all know, they run with tight margins. What supply chain levers have proven most effective in your experience for improving property level profitability without compromising the guest experience? And I know you, coming from the luxury segment of things, you've got a lot to say about this.
Yeah, in the luxury segment, that guest experience is why hotels are able to charge the amount that they charge, right? At the end of the day, the nucleus of what hotels do is put in heads and beds, and everything auxiliary going around that is just an added bonus. So really renegotiating their high ticket payables, right? I'm talking about contracts like your elevator contract. I'm talking about things like your landscaping contract, your laundry vendor. These are items that a hotel, depending on its size, can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars annually on. And, let's say the combination of all of those is $1 million, and you're able to save 20% on that. Well, you just saved your hotel $200,000 without doing anything the guest is going to really be impacted by. So looking at those contracts, not letting them auto renew or expire, and even leveraging Avendra, right? We have awesome contracts that save you money, and using us in that system to renegotiate those contracts when time to save money. That's my final answer, Regis.
Perfect. Final answer, Regis. Okay, Kathy Lee. You touched on something that so many properties are guilty of, and that's just letting their property level agreements with the suppliers fall into auto renew. So I love that tip. Now, piggybacking on what you were saying about Avendra, and I don't want this to sound salesy, but seeing it from a property perspective that wasn't partnered with a company like Avendra, and then now being on the Avendra side, the biggest thing is utilizing aggregate spend, right? We at Avendra, we're partnered with most or many of the top quality suppliers in every major market. And due to our aggregate spend, we're able to negotiate best in class pricing. One of our clients can pay 40% less for the same exact item as a hotel down the road that doesn't have a partner like us. And so I think really tapping into those types of potential partnerships, you're able to pay a lot less for your OS&E without impacting guest experience or quality at all.
I mean, I just can't agree more with that
Mhm.
because it, in most cases, doesn't cost you anything to join
Mhm.
the Avendra program. And again, this is not the Avendra show. This is Meet in the Lobby. But I mean,
Exactly.
if we're just speaking facts, that's the fact of it. It doesn't cost anything to get on the program. And I just think it's an amazing opportunity to save money on things the guests don't see.
Right.
Um, but next, we're going to pivot over to technology, and I am going to read the next question, which is right here. Okay. With the prevalence of AI, what are some aspects of the guest stay and experience that we can look to automate without losing the human touch? What do you think?
Uh, this is the question of our time right now, right? How can we utilize AI without impacting the human touch? So there's two ways that I'll talk about here. Number one, I think that hotels should be using AI as a tool to set the hotel team up for success. AI can provide impactful data about guest history and what their likes and dislikes are. And I think that that allows the hotel team to be able to be proactive and predictive to a certain extent. And using the word predictive, the other piece is use AI for predictive maintenance. This is going to save hotels a lot of money on potential repairs down the road. So when I talk about preventive or predictive maintenance, I'm talking about using it with HVAC, elevators, as you were talking about on PLAs with the last question, and plumbing, right? Those are just three of many ways you can use AI for predictive maintenance to stay on top of things before they break.
I really think if directors of engineering and hotel operators actually put all of their contracts
Mhm.
into an AI model and said, kick out a spreadsheet to let me know when everything is expiring, what do I need to do, what annual things I have to do. And I'm picking on engineering folks, but you can do it throughout the operation. I really
Mhm.
think that it would give you something that you can action on super fast
Mhm.
and tell you exactly what to do. Because I mean, DOEs and their teams, I mean, they're dealing with roof leaks, everything from roof leaks to, drain clogs and guest room things and property preventive maintenance. So just
Mhm.
use that AI to kind of tell you what you should be doing at a macro level. And I think those things will help save you some money. I have to think about this from the lens of the luxury space, also while considering that there are so many different segmentations of hotels. And with select service hotels, I think of the mobile key, right?
Oh
You
yeah.
know, in a situation where you're probably just looking to go and check in and get to your room quickly, and the guest experience and the number of FTEs that are available on property are relatively low. Something
Mhm.
like a mobile key would be a really easy way to get guests from their car and into the room quickly and seamlessly without spending a lot of labor on it.
Mhm.
But I also think about it from the luxury perspective where, the FTE per, guest ratio is sometimes 2.5 to 3 times more. Um, maybe a mobile key would not be the best thing, right?
Mhm.
But I do think of things like leveraging AI in a market for predictive services available to a guest. So,
Ooh.
for instance, I have a client that they have their own mobile app and they set, 12 to 15 different experiences that they either do themselves or curate or that are available in their market. And that is the prompt that asks the guest, well, what do you want to do? And then they describe some things that they want to do. And then it
Mm-hmm.
kicks out these kind of experiences all the way down to connecting you with the concierge who can help you book and maintain that experience.
Love
So
it.
AI is just, I mean, there are different ways for us to use it. I think that we shouldn't be lazy in using it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think if we use AI in a way that is thoughtful and curated, it could really enhance the guest experience without diminishing the human touch.
I couldn't agree more. And I love what you did with that answer, because you differentiated the market segments. And it shows that AI and tech can be used in different ways in different market segments to enhance the guest experience. So bravo to you for that. That was great. Thanks, Dorian. I'm going to end
Any,
on a fun one. What was that?
I said, anytime I do what I can.
So we are going to close out this conversation with a fun question we got from one of our listeners. So what is the craziest guest experience you've had during your time on property, since we both came from operations?
Hmm. Okay. So I think there are a lot of crazy experiences I could dive into for my time on property.
Mm-hmm.
But I just had a kind of crazy experience as a guest on property, and I could
Oh,
only imagine what the hotel was going through when this happened. Because how do you even deal with this? So last year
okay.
I spent some time in Montana,
Okay.
and it was my first time being in Montana. They say it's God's country, and I could tell the sky was blue the entire time. The sky was
Ooh.
blue, the clouds were white, the air was crisp, and it was ever so gently warm on my skin. And I want to
How
go
much
back.
did Montana pay you for that?
They didn't pay me anything, but Montana, if you're listening, just let me know. Look, talk to me. Um, but I was at a property in Montana, and I don't know what this animal was that ran through the lobby. I'm gonna say it's a moose, but I'm
Oh,
an inner city guy,
stop.
right? So
Stop it.
everything with like the little antler things looks like a moose to me, and it runs through the lobby because this was an open air lobby. I'm talking fire pits going, easy transition from front desk to F&B outlets, like garage door style, like just wide open, airy concept. I mean, easy for people to really have a good time. Also easy for four-legged, 1,000-pound animals to perhaps want to enjoy
Thousand
as well.
pound. Was this thing as tall as you?
This thing was, I mean, those antlers were up there, right? And so this I'm gonna call a moose. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say it was
Okay.
a moose.
Okay.
Kind of just casually walks in to the open area, walks past the front desk, walks past the fire pits, and just meanders the property.
Taking
And
in the ambiance of a nice little luxury Montana property, huh?
I tell you what, when I think about that, it sounds really cool, right? To have
100%.
to experience the natural part of Montana. Come to find out, the hotel like knows about this animal, and I guess the animal and the moose in the hotel have an agreement, maybe, because it didn't strike anyone else there by surprise. And maybe it's
Really?
just the Baltimore City guy in me that's like, hold on, did you guys just see what just walked through the lobby?
Nobody
Uh,
looked up from their meal, you know.
Everyone's just enjoying themselves. So I would have to say, not on a property I've worked at, but a property I
Mhm.
visited. That was what happened. I'm going to say that's what happened to me, even though nothing happened to me.
I love this story, and I'm going to have to hear from you which property this was so I can go there, because I love animals, number one. And number two, I love that the hotel is coexisting with animals. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So I have a crazy story from my time in operations. I think we both have plenty of crazy stories that would be inappropriate to share on this podcast.
I'd agree.
Perfect. So I'm gonna stick with one that is still crazy, and that is I was at a hotel. I was working at a hotel that had a lot of celebrity clientele, and Dorien, the things that people did to try to see these celebrities was crazy. So we would have people literally scaling the building. I
Oh,
know
wow.
people scaled the building. We had somebody hide in the laundry cart to be wheeled into the hotel. They got
That's
into the
great.
laundry cart that was at the loading dock. Insane. We had someone dress up in uniform, thinking that we wouldn't notice that there's somebody that's in a pseudo similar uniform, and like we wouldn't know that they didn't work there. We even had, so this hotel was up against a hill, and so on the back of the hill, or kind of a mountain actually, um we had to end up lighting the mountain, which looked beautiful, but we did it to try to deter paparazzi because they used to hike up on the side of the mountain and try to take pictures into the common area and all of that. So what is crazy to me is the things that people will do to the extent that they will go to get a glimpse of a celebrity. Absolutely crazy.
Scaling the building to see
Scaling a
another
building.
human being
A
is
hundred
nuts.
percent insane. But they did
Insane.
it. They were arrested, but they did it.
Let me ask you this. Did you
Mhm.
have any instances while we're talking about celebrities on property?
Yeah.
Did you have any instances where maybe associates were doing things maybe they shouldn't have done to get glimpses at celebrities or things like that? And if it's too much, maybe you don't have to answer, but
So yes, but most of the time extremely professional. I think what I saw more of is for in-room dining, it would be our in-room dining team saying, "Oh, let me take this one," or "Let me take this one."
yeah.
They would fight over who got to take the in-room dining order up to the room. But it happened so frequently that it became kind of par for the course for our team, and we really did want to protect the privacy of the celebrities.
Of John Williams staying at the hotel.
Yeah,
Really
well, actually, of your
basic.
moose in the lobby. I would have protected that moose at all costs.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really glad on that story. I'm glad that it was just the norm for everyone.
Yeah,
Coexisting is important, whether
yeah.
it's an animal or a famous animal.
Well, yours is now famous. But Dorien, that's our time for today.
Oh, if you have more questions for us, send a DM to Avendra's LinkedIn with your question, and we will address that on a future episode.
I
We'll
love
see
these
you.
fun ones. These fun ones.
These are my favorite,
And we'll
and
see you
we'll
next
see you
time.
next time on Meet in the
Meet
Lobby.
in the lobby.
Thanks for meeting with us today. Interested in becoming a member of Avendra's procurement services? Scan the QR code on the screen or visit us at www.avendra.com to inquire. To learn more about Avendra International and the latest hospitality news and trends, follow us on LinkedIn at Avendra International. Meet in the Lobby is a production from Avendra International. Special thanks to our executive producers Dorien Murphy, Melissa McCormack, Corey Moriarty, Eleanor Waddell, and Lindsay Garbachik, and our production partners, Market Scale. To learn more, click the link in the description.